What is up, everyone? For today's episode 135 of The Pipeline, we'll be talking about the usual newly registered RIAs, updates on investments coming from certain funds, and then we'll be hearing searches as well, and then the latest fundraising efforts. So Matt, why not kick us off?
Let's do it. Let's jump right in. Always a pleasure to join you, Peter. Thanks for having me on this episode of the Fundraising News Podcast. Yeah, let's start off, as we always do, with some turnover going on in the industry. James Anthony MacDonald, not McDonald's, MacDonald, no S there, joined Fisher Investments in September 2025 as a UK investment counselor based out of Portland, Oregon. He transitioned from Wells Fargo Advisors, where he worked as an FA, and now applies his expertise in investment counseling to deliver tailored financial solutions to his clients. Also, another one to call out here, Ian Parvin transitioned to iCapital Network as VP and alternative investment product specialist. He's based out of LA. Actually was out in LA last week for the Future Proof Conference and our Newport Beach happy hour.
How was that, by the way?
Beautiful spot. Was able to actually get out to the beach for a bit too, which is nice.
Bring the flip-flops and the...
I do not own a pair of flip-flops right now. I lost them a couple months ago, so we gotta fix that for next summer. Nobody call me out on that. He moved from Greenbacker Capital, where he worked as an internal sales associate, but now with iCapital as a VP, a part of their alts product team there. Great to see that from Ian there. Last one to call out here, Donald Atherton transitioned to Main Street Wealth Management Group as a generalist after serving as VP of Wealth Management. Based in Houston, he leverages his extensive experience to provide tailored solutions for business owners and high net worth investors. Don holds a BBA in finance from the University of Houston and an MBA as well from the University of St. Thomas. That is way better than my accolades, along with multiple designations, including a CEBS and CFP.
I think you're doing pretty well in life, Matt. Right? Don't be so hard on yourself.
I mentioned accolades. I appreciate that, Peter. We also have, for the acquisitions, the movement across the industry, the consolidation. Actually, we just covered the movement, but the acquisitions, the consolidation going on in this industry across RIAs, FAs, three key components to call out here. Advisor duo Vincent Mafucci and M. Darius Mautasek registered Cadia private client as an independent RIA in Parsippany, New Jersey. And Darius, if I pronounce your last name wrong there, apologies. But the firm had been affiliated with Private Advisor Group since 2018. And both advisors were affiliated with Merrill Lynch previously as well. The firm has retained Fidelity as their custodian. So Vincent, Darius just registered Cadia private client as an independent RIA there. Another one to call out, we're going to New Bedford, Massachusetts. Financial advisor John J. Williams III registered Clarity Retirement and Wealth as an independent RIA. Most recently, though, Williams was affiliated with Plum Point Wealth Management and Persh Kaplan Sterling Investments, two different firms there. Williams joined Plum Point following its acquisition of Williams Estate and Financial Group, where Williams was an advisor for right around 14 years, affiliating with several firms, MML, Investor Services, from 2017 to 2024, to call out one. But to go back on this, right, John, with Clarity Retirement and Wealth, now is his RIA firm. They've just engaged with Charles Schwab as their custodian too. So just wanted to make sure we got that last snippet in there. Third one to call out here, Grassi Investment Management, $1.3 billion in assets under management. They were recently acquired by Creative Planning. So, of course, with all the consolidation, aggregation going on in the industry, want to make sure we're calling out a few during this segment here of the Fundraising News Podcast. But, Peter, I've been talking, running out of saliva. I'll kick it over to you. What do we got for some consultants, some searches, and some investments that we've seen in the industry right now?
Well, happy to be of help here. But, also just interesting, as you talked about the RIA consolidation, I think that's seen as a powerful tool to really gaining momentum in an asset class that is just truly just flourishing immensely. But as it relates to searches and investments, there's a lot we're going to tell you about. So first, for investments, the Ventura County Employees Retirement Association, which has over $8 billion in assets under management, which is based in Los Angeles, where you were, And it has general consultant EPC, private credit consultant, and EPC. Its recent commitment, it approved a $40 million commitment to Sixth Street Specialty Lending Europe Fund 3 as part of its private credit allocation, following a joint recommendation by NEPC and the pensions investment staff. I just think this illustrates really that there's a lot of hunger for direct lending and private credit. And I just think this reinforces that. And now we are going to be talking about West Yorkshire Pension Fund, which has 20 billion in assets under management. It's in Leeds, that's the metro area, and its commitments, it reportedly committed $68 million to the LNG Digital Infrastructure Fund at its first close. The vehicle invests principally in UK and European digital infrastructure, including data centers, fiber networks, wireless connectivity, and cloud services, with selective global exposure expected in the US. I think this is just a big piece because right now, I mean, I wrote a paper on this last week about really the rise in demand for digital infrastructure and really namely data centers. I just think it's something that people cannot get enough of and something that pension funds are really just allocating to. They see a huge reward, and I think especially the demand for electricity and like electrification has never been higher. So it's just really the appetite is just truly insatiable.
Is that something that the listeners can find and check out?
Yes, you can find it on our Dakota homepage and go under first. You will go under company and then you go under resources and under content. The first thing under content is Dakota Insights. And now we're going to be bringing that back to America. We are going to be talking about the South Carolina Retirement System Investment Commission, or the RSIC, which sounds pretty sick if you ask me. So the AUM right now is a little over 47 billion. It's based in Columbia. Its general consultant is Verus. Its real estate consultant is Allborn. Its PE consultant is Allborn, and its hedge fund consultant is Allborn. And so, as it relates to recent commitments, it committed more than 1.7 billion to 14 funds across private credit, private equity, and real estate from June to September, led by 350 million allocations each to JCP, Conagry Credit Fund, and Aldo Anderson Private Debt Fund, alongside a 200 million allocation to General Atlantic Investment Partners 2025. And I think also another thing we're seeing is just like the hunger for debt and credit, because I think right now, as it relates to digital infrastructure, we're going to be seeing a lot of capital intensive projects in the digital infrastructure world, I feel like, and energy infrastructure world, which makes, I think, people really are going to be reliant on debt and on credit to really help finance these capital intensive projects. Now we are going to be talking about searches. So our only search of the day is the Government Employee Pension Service in South Korea. It's 500 million. It's in Seoul. I've actually been there. One of the most beautiful cities in the country. I'd love to go back. Or one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Sorry, just amazing. The technology there is just truly inconceivable. So, bang! South Korea's Government Employees Pension Service is said to have launched a search for 2 global infrastructure fund managers to receive 50 million wons and $60 million US each, as it seeks to bolster its exposure to Europe and outperform its 7.7 midterm return target. The vehicles must be closed-end, commingled blind funds investing at least 80% in Europe, with targets above 1 billion wons and expected gross IRRs of over 10%, run by experienced managers. Proposals are due September 22nd, with final selections expected by early December. Aegis Asset Management will manage the mandate in a fund-to-fund structure. I think, again, this just really aligns with, I mean, there's really a big push for Europe right now. People really like that. People see the region that they're very confident and bullish on its growth. And then, so we are going to be talking about what does this all mean?
I like one other search that we came across today. Just want to call it out for all the listeners. Illinois Police Officers Pension Fund. They use Verus as a consulting firm. I think they're right around 12.9 billion. So pretty large public plan there. They just dropped a private equity RFP looking to commit 400 million in capital. Deadline's October 6th. I'll just leave it at that in terms of details. But of course, if you want to find all the information, reach out to myself, Peter, or just go right into Dakota Marketplace under the searches tab. You'll find it there. But no, sorry, cut you off.
No worries. I mean, I was in Illinois the other day. It's a beautiful state. So what does this all mean? So we're going to be providing Dakota's strategic and actionable takeaways for GPs and LPs. So Matt and I threw a lot at you, and we're not talking about baseball. So there's a few takeaways that we really want to harp on. So talent mobility reflects industry momentum. RIAs continue expanding through registration acquisition, something that we talked about previously with the rolling up and consolidation. There's a lot of hunger and there's a lot of competition in this burgeoning asset class. And then number 3, public pensions are deploying across alternatives. Many people see alternatives as something incredibly valuable. The days of just public equities are no more. And then 4, global searches emphasize Europe as a target market. I mean, it just really seems like Europe is a region that a lot of general partners, a lot of investment managers are just really confident in. And I think that's being reflected in like allocations. The bottom line, the combination of advisor transitions, new RIA formations, and large-scale institutional commitments signals a robust environment for both fundraising and talent mobility. For general partners, the message is abundantly clear. Build global reach, highlight differentiated strategies and alternatives, and position to meet the needs of both independent advisors and institutional LPs. Now for LPs, the market remains competitive, but opportunities to access specialized funds and proven managers continues to broaden.
Always a lot going on, and I think that breakdown there is helpful, right? To summarize it and capture everything. Do a quick run through of right why does it all matter every single time, and it's important to think about, especially when you have a lot of updates, even from a fundraising standpoint in the industry, right? Identifying a couple funds here, right? What's going on? Like Irish private equity firm Erisberg, they secured $206 million in capital commitments, right, for its second fund. There's just so much activity going on. You got a London-based asset manager, ICG, very large firm, right? $3.7 billion in capital raised already for their ICG Infrastructure Fund 2. So I think with that, we'll wrap it up here. We do have some upcoming happy hours. Just to note, LA tomorrow at Hotel Casa del Mar, I believe. So if you're in town, haven't signed up yet, please do. We've got Boston on Thursday, which is the 18th of September. Our team is going to be heading out to Paris next week as well. I know another typical co-host here, Pat Ty, will actually be out there for it. So if you're in Paris, tune it in, reach out to us. We'd love to give you the chance to meet with Pat and our team or just swing by the event. And then a few others to note. Let me just pull it up here. We've got Denver on the 7th, San Fran on the 14th, and Toronto on the 28th. We will also be in New York on the 28th as well.
Some of my favorite cities. I mean, we really do go to for these cocktails, some of the coolest places.
We do.
And people are really excited about Paris. So
yeah, we've got a lot of signups already. So it's never too late to register. Feel free to join us for any cocktail events. And like always, reach out to Peter, myself, anyone on the Dakota team to help out. But thank you all.
Thank you guys.
This episode is brought to you by Dakota Marketplace. Are you tired of constantly jumping between multiple databases and channels to find the right investment opportunities? Introducing Dakota Marketplace, the comprehensive institutional and intermediate database built by fundraisers for fundraisers. With Dakota Marketplace, you'll have access to all channels and asset classes in one place, saving you time and streamlining your fundraising process. Say goodbye to the frustration of searching through multiple databases, websites, Form ADVs, and say hello to a seamless and efficient fundraising experience. Sign up now and see the difference Dakota Marketplace can make for you. Visit dakota.com/Dakota-Marketplace today.